Well, we're gonna pause from our fencing project in this video. Got another little side thing going over here at the other farm. We did buy a few good bred heifers. We're about to unload them. And then this pen behind me, we actually have some harvest steers. We're gonna feed out, and we have a harvest date in March. They're around 900 pounds now. I'm hoping to get them between 12 and 1300, but I'm gonna introduce y'all to them and talk about them, my plans with them, the feed, and all that good stuff. And that's what's going on. All right, as you can tell by my new shirt, it is the next day since we unloaded those 3 heifers. I'm hanging out in the front stall here. This stall has kind of become a little bit of a do-it-all stall. Half of it is still accessible to the horse and donkeys. They got a water trough right there. I also have some scrap wood and my cans, my feed cans. This can here is the horse feed. The middle can right now has got some horse treats and tack in it. And then the open can down there is where I keep the goat feed. Today's video is about cattle. So I do have cattle feed here. I'll show you that in just a second. But it is not in this stall. The camera is sitting on a big stack of square bells, specifically square bells for the goat herd. Besides the point, I'm rambling on there. Today's video, we are doing something new. I kind of hinted at it and talked about it and even showed one of them in a couple little clips over the last couple of videos, but we are doing harvest steers. I have 2 steers that we are currently feeding. Have about 93 days left until the kill day, towards the 1st of March. They both weigh about 900 pounds, maybe a little heavier now, because I've been feeding one of them about 3 weeks. The other one I've been feeding right out a week. So they have surely put a couple pounds on. But today's video is what I want to do is talk about, introduce you to them, the feed ration, and how I'm going to do everything, and a little bit of why. And okay, so if you have watched any of my videos before, whether you're a one and done, a regular viewer, a newcomer, if you are, welcome. You have seen me in this barn many times. I keep my selling cows here. I do a lot of buying for people. People will contact me, place orders of cattle. I'll go put that group together for them and then move them on their way. I've also just had to sell cattle, so when I'm selling them, I bring them here because the lot is smaller. It is a little more secure. The loadout's easier coming through this alleyway behind me here. This is nothing new to y'all, but what is new to y'all, or at least through me, is harvest steers. I've had cattle for years now. We have had stockers. On a small scale, we have had a cow-calf herd. We are now doing harvest steers. We have just bought and sold to people. They all have their pros and cons, but I've never tried harvest steers before, and I'd like to give it a go. Especially, you start looking at how much things cost at the grocery market and so forth, and why not? I've had a ton of people, friends and family, ask if I would, so why not? We are here, and one of them is waiting on us. This one is the one that you have all seen before, Arlo 21. He was a bottle-fed show steer. He's been with us about 3 weeks now. He is a 3/4 blood Angus, 1/4 blood Hereford, mostly black, but he does have a couple white spots on his underside of his side and belly. He is super friendly. Kind of makes it tough to not get attached to him, and it'll be tough come March, but hey, it's part of it. The next one, let me shut this gate here. Excuse me, sir. I think he's over here checking out the heifers. Yep, there he is. He is a tiger stripe cow. For those of you who might not know what a tiger stripe is, a tiger stripe is what you get when you cross a Bramer cow. If you don't know what that is, that great big large frame cow with a hump on their neck, long droopy ears, baggy skin everywhere. You cross one of them with a Hereford, and they come out all sorts of different tones and colorations, but essentially the tiger striping down the sides, some with or without a black face. Typically they have some wompy little horns. He does. And true to the reputation of Bramers, he is a bit standoffish and a little wild. He has calmed down significantly. The first few days he was here, he wouldn't let you anywhere near him. You like that, huh? He would be running at you, trying to get you on the ground to stomp you, ramming you into a fence. You know, acting a fool, scraping his hooves on the ground, charging at you. Now he just wants to keep his distance. He ain't acting all that crazy no more. What do you say, sir? And don't look at the size comparison of me and him and think he's not as big as I'm saying he is. He's over 900 pounds. But I'm a hair over 6'4" and 300 pounds. So I'm not the smallest bear you'll see around. But anyway, these are our two steers. They are doing well. They are up to date on shots. They are both between 14 and 18 months old. And this is what we are going to feed out and harvest in March. How I'm going to feed them out, I don't have a traditional feeder or a fence line feeder where they can stick their head through the panel and to a feed bunk. I do have a feed bunk. It is right here on the ground. They can come in and access. There is a tub of mineral. That is Purina Wind and Rain. I cannot say enough good about them. They have a massive water trough right outside and a couple smaller tanks in here. And how I'm feeding them, what their ration is, I'm feeding about 24 pounds of whole corn per head per day. Free choice in this bucket. I feed once a day. On top of the whole corn is ADM Beef Trait. It is a vitamin mineral supplement in a little pellet that I sprinkle on top across the layer of whole corn at a rate of about 3/4 pound per head per day. And it's full of vitamins and minerals and all that good stuff, but its main purpose is to allow the more efficient eating of whole corn. I'm sure many of you have always heard or been told or even experienced yourself where you gotta have cracked corn, chopped corn, something. You cannot feed whole corn. And probably heard something about acidosis in there as well. And new tests, new studies, experiments, whatever you want to call it. Hey, sir. He is wanting the head scratches. I have come out to show that that is a myth, or at least partially a myth. They can eat whole corn. It does need to be supplemented though, to pull out the remainder of the nutrients. But when it comes to acidosis, it is actually better than the chopped corn is. And going into an explanation on that, without trying to get too boring, when you chop it, it makes more of it, the more particles, pieces, the more dust, which just covers the rumen more, which actually increases the chance of acidosis. Keeping it whole reduces the contact with the rumen and eliminates a large part of the chance of acidosis. They will process a lot of it without beef trait, but with beef trait they get extra vitamins and minerals, but it has a bacteria to line the rumen, which pulls the remainder of the nutrients out. And if you examine their poo, their manure, you will see very, very little corn after adding beef trait. They are pulling everything they can out of this whole corn. And that is a good thing for them and me. Corn is what helps them gain their weight, their fat content, their marbling. Whole corn is cheaper than chopped corn, cracked corn, silage, other rations even. So it's a lot more beneficial to myself as well. So it's saving me money. It is saving them. I say saving them. It's saving me money, but it is still giving them everything and more that they need to get big, get fat, marble, all the nutrients and requirements that they have. It's just more effective and efficient. All right, we are here on our feed trailer. This is our whole corn. I bought it in a 1-ton tote. Got our buckets. One of these red buckets here is 24 pounds, so I need 2 of these. I only have one, so I got a 5-gallon bucket for the other. So this is your ADM beef trait. Like I said, it's just the minerals and nutrients, and its main purpose is to process whole corn. You can see it's got the proteins, the fiber, calcium, all the different minerals and vitamins. The feeding rate is 3/4 pound per head per day. Mixing it with the grain and roughage. It's even got some what is it? Laser locked. I bought that. I do that in that trough, and then I give 2 pounds of hay per head per day. And going along the same trend there with the, you know, the people who have always said that about crack corn, they have to have as much hay as they want. That's not true either. Hay is primarily a filler. They don't really get just a ton from it. They do need a minimal portion, but they don't need unlimited. If you give them unlimited, they will consume and fill more on it than the grain, which ultimately makes it take much longer for them to finish out for harvest purposes. The 2 pounds or so roughly per head per day is the perfect amount that they need for their size, to get all the requirements that they need as far as roughage go and nutrients go. And then obviously the corn, that's the good percentage of their body weight and feed, and they're using it maximum to the maximum capacity as far as pulling the nutrients and energy out of it. That is what we are feeding. I have been talking with several people who feed the same ration on a much, much larger scale, and they have great success. They are actually averaging, pushing 5 pounds a day of daily gain with this ration, and they are not chipped or implanted in any way. These are not chipped or implanted in any way, hormone free, as far as that goes. You can get pushing another pound or so, pushing 6 pounds a day if you did chip them, but that is not what we're after. So we did not do it. You don't have to have it to get that crazy good number of daily gain. I am tracking this, how much I'm feeding down to the pound. I'm going to be weighing them periodically and logging their growth chart so I can kind of see how it worked out for me. And I'm going to share that with y'all. This is kind of an experiment for me, but I hope y'all follow along with it. You know, not saying there's anything wrong with the traditional ways of feeding cattle out. They have to have oats, barley, corn, all unlimited hay and all that. If you want to feed like that, that's fine. But, you know, I'm of the mindset there are always better opportunities, better ways to do things. And with what I've heard and studied and seen with this ration and feeding this way, it's at least worth a try. So I am gonna give it a go, and if not, then we'll make our change the next go around. But that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you for following along with my journey. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or I will try and tag my email in the description. Shoot me an email and I will try and answer it, or I will put you in contact with the resources or the people that I ask, I use, I've studied, whatever the case is. And we will be right back with a lot more content. Thank y'all.